By getting books in the hands of kids, we can engage these young readers in their learning and help them see how school, community, and the world beyond are connected.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This school year is in full swing. Students are back in the class learning, making new friends, and developing new interests. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Parents, communication is key to helping your student maintain a strong start to the school year. Whether your student is in high school or navigating the new world of kindergarten, keep an open dialogue about what they're learning and how they are growing.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to it on a Monday, and it's appropriate. Monday Night Football is on. You got some stuff to watch. I'll give you the details in a second. If you want to be a part of what we're doing, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. You can follow us and be a part of what we're doing. If you want to follow on the Starter Heyman live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951. Yeah, we made it as easy as possible. And also, you can jump on the app and follow it. Special edition show. It is the debut. Y'all know him as Don't Punt. I know him as a nuisance, athletic nuisance. But a kid of the DMV, straight down from Alexandria, DeMornay Pierson-El. Welcome to the station, fam.
Appreciate you for having me.
No, this is like we've been talking about. It's funny. I've told you the story. I'll tell the listeners that when I got to the station years ago, and I said, you know what would be really cool if DP and DPE would get a show. I said, two DC kids just sitting here hanging out talking about Nebraska.
There you go.
And the universe don't play.
Spoken into existence.
The universe don't play. Like I said all the time, listen, the universe understands quickly what it is. It's legendary, and we'll go back and tell the real story of you in Virginia. So let's go back, right? Okay. Let's tell the story, because I always tell people, one, in order for them to care about you, they got to know where you come from, who you come from. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about your people. Let's talk about home.
Okay. Born and raised in Alexandria, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
A different world, you know. It's a lot of things going on, you know, poverty, drugs, yada yada. You know, you hear the backstory of stuff and everything like that. I'm not gonna get too much into that. You know, church upbringing, grandparents raised me through the church. You know, sports was an outlet. So I always stayed in something: football, basketball, baseball, track, something to, you know, keep off the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I got cousins, you know, that's into that. You know what I'm saying? So I got friends that's into that. So, I mean, the opportunity to get on into the wrong side of things is there. But, you know, I didn't choose that. I chose a different path. Started playing football at a young age of 4 or 5. I mean, and it's got me to where I've come at today. You know, I've played football in Memorial Stadium, and not a lot of people can say you can do that. You know, that's a tremendous thing. Went to college for free, got a degree. You know, we spent a couple years on professional NFL teams, you know, living out that dream. So, you know, I'm thankful for everything that I've encountered.
Through all of it, you talk about your grandparents. Mm-hmm. Like, let's shout them out and let's talk about them in real time.
Okay.
Right? Granddad, grandma, who are they?
My grandparents, Louise and William Carter. They've been pastors for over 20, 30 some years, my whole life. Raised it up through the church. My grandmother actually passed away about 3 years ago, so may she rest in peace. My grandfather, he's back at home holding down the fort and everything like that. So, you know, he's still into it and everything like that. But you know, they're the reason of, they're a strong reason of why, you know, who I am today and who I became.
What did they instill? Like, what's the value system? What are the things that they said to you the most?
My grandfather, you know, he was a working man. So regardless of whatever the situation and everything like that, he really wasn't too much of a talker. He let his actions, pretty much show and speak for him and everything like that. It's not anything that he couldn't build or fix. So I mean, he was handy around the house and everything like that, and just smart. I mean, it didn't matter what it was or whatever, how big the job is, or how big anything. Like I don't think there's anything that I've seen him that he couldn't do.
Yeah.
So seeing that as as a man and everything like that, to just get things done, to he can say it, but his actions necessarily like spoke louder than anything.
How much of what is instilled in you was built on the streets of Alexandria, playing ball at the playground, on the streets, playing touch football, playing on at the rec center? What was it?
I mean, it's all built on that.
Yeah.
You just decided to, either dabble in all of it, or you know what I'm saying, or just take pieces that that I took and everything like that. But I mean, it was around all the time. People getting shot at, drugs, all types of things. But like I said, I was more so scared of my grandparents, than necessarily.
Isn't that real? Like that's real. Like you don't understand I mean, there are people that immediately, the moment you said that, their skin kind of stood up on them, right? Like, because they remember there's some stuff I could get away with, but never the grandparents.
No, my grandfather, he put the fear of God in me. Literally. It's been a couple times. Like I said, I've got tattoos and everything like that. I still remember to this day the first time like he seen me have tattoos, he was not happy, and I mean that memory is stuck with me for the rest of my life. And he was calm as ever until I got home. So he's not a person to play around with or fool with at all.
When did you know that, you know what, this athletics thing, I'm built a little different than everybody else? When did you know?
I would probably say around 8th or 9th grade. I had a couple of mentors, a couple of teachers that pretty much, set me down and, was like, hey, you really got a shot to, do something to really, get from, around the environment that you were brought up in and everything like that. And don't get me wrong, I was a knucklehead growing up. I wasn't the best student. I wasn't the A's and B's and everything like that. I did what I needed to do and everything like that, but frustrated, angry, you know what I'm saying, about a lot of stuff. But it was a couple teachers, it was a mentor and in my 8th grade year that kind of first set me down, and then my 9th grade math teacher. They're actually my fraternity brothers now. But they're the reason of, kind of like, hey, they kind of set me down as like, look, if you really apply yourself to this and everything like that, like you can have, a lot more things, given to you. You can go see a lot of things. You can do a lot of things athletically and whatnot and everything like that. So, they would keep tabs with me, would check in every 2 weeks. My freshman year, my teacher, he was the first one that, Mr. Brooks, he pretty much told me about the clearinghouse and everything like that. He printed off the papers and everything like that. Look, this is what you need. You need these grades, you need these tests and everything like that to make sure that you can get, be eligible and everything like that. And he kind of like broke it down first for me. And I had been with Coach Henderson for a while. And I'm not saying that he didn't necessarily do that, but he didn't really touch necessarily on that side of things.
There's so much behind that story. There's so much behind that story.
I don't have nothing bad to say about him, but it just
look. We know the deal. We know the deal that sometimes coaches focus on the things that are important to them rather than the things that should be important to you.
You said it like that.
That's good. Look, for those that, I mean, again, and full transparency. So I was introduced to DeMornay right about 8th grade. Mm-hmm. And in 9th grade, I then got to watch him blossom as an athlete, where you see the thing, okay, the young dude's got something. Then it becomes, oh, the dude's a problem. Like, young dude's a problem, and I'm going to have to deal with him for the next 3 years. I'm going to have to deal with this dude. And I thought I had an advantage. So for the sake of it, West Potomac High School is an area that's just, it's like, I would say it's almost like Omaha in that it's got a ton of athletes.
North Omaha.
Yeah, North Omaha. Right. Well, some would say Central, but I'm with that.
A mix of both.
Right.
You can. I get where you're going.
Right. And that Fairfax County, where I was located, centralized, it was like Lincoln.
To a extent, yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And so my athletes, I didn't have, like, I had one DeMornay-esque athlete ever. The rest of them were dudes that were just grinders.
Very
and
much
so,
feel.
right, Northern Virginia, Fairfax County, that where we coached and competed, it was a meat grinder. Like this was tough. There were elite Division I's coming from everywhere. And then if you went across the bridge, if you drove 10 minutes into DC or into PG County,
That's a different problem.
Right. Like it's like the Big Ten Conference. You just go, oh, what, another one? Like I'm gonna face DeMornay on one day, and then I'm gonna face Eric Bowles the next, or AJ Alexander or Dejon Lee. Like it's a factor. So when you shine,
Oren Burks played for the 49ers.
Burks was a savage. Like it was there. So when guys popped, you paid attention. And as a coach, like we have talent envy, right? As a coach, you look across and go, man, it would be really nice to have. It'd be really nice to have a DeMornay Pierson-El on my roster, right? My dudes were going to go to the Air Force Academy, Naval Academy. Like I had Dean Rye, and I had guys who were going to go UVA. I wasn't going to have Mr. Don't Punt back here just to give me nightmares. And the brutality of it, and it was beautiful. I have to say it. There are very few players that I coached against that when I coached against them, I would stop coaching and I would just watch.
I appreciate that.
No, so tell the story. So we face your junior year, we face you, and we know you're a problem. So we got to figure out how do we've got to be unconventional.
Is that Wilson?
Yeah. The DPE is an unconventional athlete. So the only way to defend an unconventional athlete, I can't be typical in how I approach him. So our defensive coordinator came up with this concoction that was, we weren't even going to rush the line of scrimmage. We just were going to stand 7 across with a fence and let
sit back and just wait. Just sit back and wait. The funny thing is that everybody else started to copy it.
Right. Like, I mean,
it didn't work.
Well, this is the thing, right? So first of all, there's no way to defend him because even if he got one-on-one with any one player we had, we were going to lose. Like we had to defend him 3-on-1 just to have a shot to get him to the ground. And then he had like 24 rushes where we held him to like 42 yards. But the other 6 carries, dude went bonkers, man. So it was, he went bonkers. He had like 306, and 2 of them were called back. Two tutties were called back.
That sounds like when Melvin Gordon in Wisconsin.
Relax. I'll relax. I was at that game. I'll relax.
He was in that game.
I was with Melvin in Denver, and listen, when he started to talk about that, don't say a word.
Yeah.
Go right past it. Nebraska, huh? Hey, listen, man. Look, I understand. Look, you had about 2-3 fumbles in the first half. You was not looking like a Heisman candidate like the first majority of the quarter, and some of the second, and then I don't know what happened.
It was like, this is when I knew, I'm like, okay, so he's legitimate D1. He's not just like Virginia Tech D1, which is again the elevation, right? Yeah. Then you go, no, he's national D1. And we were in the game until like we got a final drive, and I mean, we're at the 25-yard line. We're down I think they're up a score. And DeMornay's playing safety. But he's not playing traditional safety. He's playing center field. And we had a rule. Like, the don't punt? We were like, don't throw at him. Like, don't throw at DeMornay. Who's going to track the ball better than DeMornay Pierson-El? Like, it was.
It was, Caleb Henderson.
Yeah.
He was a Elite 11 quarterback, another top recruit.
North Carolina?
Went to North Carolina and pretty much lost the job to Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
Probably by far one of the best quarterbacks like that I've like seen, been around. Just with, like arm talent, strength, everything like that you would want. Just kind of had some issues that kind of like got in the way of it, and but he wouldn't even. You know what I'm saying? And I grew up with him.
Like our quarterback played in Virginia, and we're like, okay,
played. Played.
Like, do not throw. Like the rules of the game, don't throw deep across the middle late. Okay, don't throw early across the middle deep when DeMornay back there. We've got a kid that ends up, Peter Murray, that ends up going to Air Force Academy, right?
Peter,
6'5", 240 tight end. Prototype, bro. Beast.
Can move well.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like sneaky athlete.
Like nice.
Sneaky athlete. Like he can bang. He can bang with the rest of them. Like he's
and DeMornay lures like he's half asleep, and they try to get him up the scene, and the quarterback plants his foot, and I'm screaming in slow mo, no. He throws it, lets it go. DeMornay, like a tornado, just sweeps in, picks it off, and is literally Deion Sanders skipping down the sideline. And I'm just like I can't even be mad. Like literally in the video, if you see it, I'm just standing on the sideline with my hands on my hips as DeMornay runs by. And I just went, okay. And this happened 2 years in a row against this guy. So I said, okay. Now we would see him in basketball. And DeMornay, as you would imagine, defensive lockdown dude and a point guard.
I think I was the only guy under 6 foot that made the all defensive team.
Yeah.
2 years in a row.
Yeah. Just out there harassing just random point guards in the DMV, right? Like, like these are dudes that are going to play at Maryland, Virginia Tech, Old Dominion, DeMornay.
Basketball talent was crazy. I knew my limit. That wasn't necessarily my arena. So
well, but here's the reality: it wasn't even like football may not have been your best sport.
You can arguably say that,
right? In your mind, what sport would have been the easiest sport for you to play?
That's a tough question. If I put in effort and everything like that, how I did with football.
Mm-hmm.
With basketball, like that's a coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
Track, I didn't necessarily have like long speed, but like indoor stuff, like I probably would have killed indoor.
Yeah.
It's a toss up between basketball and football. If I really put the work in how I did with football with basketball, I don't know.
And I know for a fact that there were college coaches, baseball coaches, who asked the question, "You think he could play center field for us?" Like, which, yeah, stupid.
Baseball was just too slow for me. It was my first sport, but it's just like I got bored. That's why I stopped playing it. It's just like I went back to it my senior year in high school, and I was just like, yeah, I can't. Ohio State's not coming in asking what's my batting average. They're gonna ask what's my 100, what's my 200. You know what I'm saying at that time. Or whatnot. So I was just like, this isn't for me. I'm okay. What
was your so nowadays with social media, recruiting is its own thing. And if you had been recruited in this era, first of all, NIL. Imagine
come on.
Okay, we'll ask the question. What do you think, like after your freshman year, what do you think the NIL package would have been like?
You probably can tell me better than I could. I don't even look into certain things like that just because it's not even fair. Like it's not fair. I mean, in the time of I was coming up, we got in trouble for stuff like that, and now you pretty much like made it legal.
Oh, bro. Like it would have been a different time, different era. But my goodness gracious, it would have been a thing. What was your final five, like your top five, the schools that once everybody was in the had been in contact with you, what were the 5 that you were thinking
Of course, Nebraska.
Okay.
Not in. This is not in.
Not in order.
Not in
but
order.
Just give me the
anything
5.
Nebraska, Penn State, Boston College, UNC. I can't even remember the last one. It was the last one was like 2 schools. It might have been like Tennessee and like East Carolina or something like that.
So, in the thing that is recruiting, what were you looking for as the most important thing? What was going to be the reason why you chose whoever you chose? Why did you choose Nebraska?
Giving me a chance to play what I necessarily wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 years in high school, I played the only position that I played consistently was DB.
Mm-hmm.
Freshman year on varsity DB, sophomore year, you know what I'm saying? So
receiver, quarterback,
running back.
I
I consistently didn't have a prominent, position. So a lot of schools didn't necessarily know what I really wanted to play. And I didn't want to tell schools because you tell them and then you go there and we're going to change you to this or change you to that and everything like that. My sophomore year I was running. Sophomore year I was a wide receiver. Junior year I was running back. Senior year I went back to receiver. Quarterback got hurt and went back and went to quarterback. So
you imagine just again, this is a high school, and the morning I get the snap direct and just run around till everybody gets tired. Like literally their time of possession was like 67% of the clock because it was DeMornay taking a snap and he would just run around until somebody fell asleep and then he'd break it up field and would go to the house.
But I mean, I played quarterback growing up. Before I got to high school, when grassroots came out, is when you could say I probably like switched to like another position because of pretty much Caleb and Mr. Henderson. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it worked out itself. But I really didn't necessarily like. I knew what I wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to play receiver. So any schools necessarily that came to me, pretty much saying like, we want you as this and everything like that. That's what it was. I think Nebraska had ended up being my like 7th offer, but they were like their 3rd school to like offer me for like receiver. I ended up coming out here, and this is when shout out to Bo, a real one. I don't care what people say.
Right.
He real one. You can have your opinion, but to this day I would still take a bullet for that man.
Yeah.
So shout out to him.
Yeah.
I came out here for I don't even know if they still do it, the Big Red Weekend. At that point in time they were bringing out like the top 2 prospects at each position and everything like that, and while everybody's in a panel talking to players, they had me watching film. They was like, we want you here. Like they didn't just tell me like oh, this is like, we want you to do this, and then I get there and we want you to play this, we're gonna put you at this. They actually showed me, and it wasn't so much of them promised me that I would have a position, but I mean, they laid out what their position was. You know what I'm saying? You have things that you can do, and if you show in training camp or fall camp that you can have the ability, like we don't care that you are how young you are, like you're gonna play.
We'll put a pin there because I want to come back to the whole recruiting thing. Okay. Good morning, Pierson-El. Don't punt hour. We're going to do this every night. And we'll allow him to bring on some of his teammates. We'll allow him to bring on some of his former coaches, just friends of his that he wants to talk to over the course of this thing. I'm DP. He's DPE. We'll be right back here on The Ticket.
Acres, your John Deere dealer, is offering hot financing on all new compact tractors. For a limited time, get 0% interest for 84 months when you buy any new John Deere compact tractor. And with a variety of attachments, you'll make quick work of chores around your acreage. From mowing to grading and moving large loads, Acres has a John Deere tractor to handle your toughest projects. Don't delay. Visit your local Acres store to take advantage of this great offer. Acres, solutions for every field. Offer expires September 30th, 2023, subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
This is Jay Foreman here. Join me and DP for Old School live from Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O Street this Friday for their customer appreciation tailgate party from 4 to 6 p.m. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. That's this Friday from 4 to 6 at Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and our big fall sales underway, and the new truck incentives are off the charts. Over $5,000 in discounts on select new Sierras and Silverados and 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. $5,000 off, 0.9% interest rates on select new trucks here at Coppell. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street and check out that great small-town vibe with big city deals. We look forward to seeing you, or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
All right, it's lunchtime. Where should we go today?
How about Qdoba? We can get free queso and chips with an entree purchase.
Whoa, how'd you know about that?
It's in the campus cash booklet that we got for free to start the school year, the student marketplace. You didn't get yours?
I'd better go grab mine now.
You'd better stop at the College of Hair Design too. Your hair is getting long. $8 haircut with the campus cash book.
What about my friends who are out of college?
They can download the campus cash app for free and get great deals too, from Pizza Hut, Juice Stop, Craft Axe Throwing, and tons more.
Campus Cash, the student marketplace. Find your free booklet on campus or download the Campus Cash app.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, starting the work week off with mostly sunny skies, or an afternoon high around 81. Tonight we'll see mostly clear skies and a low around 55. And tomorrow more of the same, more sunshine. Temps a little cooler tomorrow. We'll see high around 78. Meteorologist Kyle Tucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's a good one on Monday. We appreciate you hanging out with us. 402-464-5685 is the Starter Heyman text line. You can follow us. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Allo Channel 951. Allo Channel 951. DP, you on cable, bro. You on cable. You on TV. Good morning, Pierson-El, again, throughout the course of this thing. And, of course, from the text line and the folks that are there. Adam says this, is such a good athlete. You could probably throw skates on him and he'd be good at hockey. Yep. Yep. I do not disagree with that. From the YouTube chat, DP, that punt return against Michigan State was my favorite.
My favorite too.
Yeah, I was right. Let's go through and over the course of the show, we'll flash back every now and then. Like the fan base will show up and say, "Hey, DP, tell me about this one."
Okay.
And I know some of that gets old, right? You just go, "Okay, I done told the story like 300 times," but when people show up to hear them, you kind of dance with it. I'll ask you this because we were talking about Nebraska and why you chose it.
Mm-hmm.
The recruiting process, again, that they got other people in the panel room. You in film study, you're not even here.
Mm-hmm.
What was it about Bo Pelini that made you that keeps you so loyal? Who was he as a coach to you?
Bo was what you see is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't like you, you knew.
Mm-hmm.
If he liked you, if he had a problem with you, there was no sugarcoating. There was no, hiding behind bushes or, sneak this in, whatever you want to call it, or not hurting feelings. Bo was an old school coach.
Yeah.
And I mean, I grew up, with that. So I mean, I was used to it. He was fair. Other people may say he was not. But Bo was passionate. And with you, football is a passionate game. Why wouldn't you want that? With him, I know he yells a lot, screams and everything like that. But when other people came, well, why isn't he showing emotions or anything like that? You knew what you were getting from Bo. And Bo would do anything in his power, to protect, to make things right. He was a second chance giver and everything like that. He would have real conversations with you and everything like that. He would laugh, joke. He would clown you. He could talk something.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't scary. But he was real. He was genuine. And I wanted to play for a guy like that. Why not? I mean, at that point in time, we went in at least 9 games every season. You know what I'm saying? And this guy's coming from all over the world to sit in my living room and pretty much, tell my grandmother, telling me, what they see and everything like that. And he didn't get there and try and sweet talk me. Oh, we promise you this and that. He was real genuine.
Let's go back to that then. And again, I'm a kid from that space, so I know what it would feel like to me when I was being recruited.
Mm-hmm.
But to have Nebraska come to your living room, to come down Route 1 and sit in the crib, exactly what did you need to hear? What was it that you wanted to hear from him?
It wasn't so much of what I needed to hear is what I needed to see.
Okay.
And Bo came in. He wasn't a handshake type of person or anything. He gave my grandmother a hug. Like that's
people miss that. See,
like that's not. It's simple things and everything like that. He wasn't nervous. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't afraid. He was himself.
That word afraid resonates for me. That he came to a black neighborhood.
Thank you.
Right. He came to the black neighborhood and felt like he belonged and he was comfortable. He wasn't set off by you. Right. He wasn't set off by the surroundings.
It wasn't set off by my uncles. He wasn't set off by the dudes down the end of the street that you gotta pass. You know what I'm saying?
Could he park out front or did he?
He parked out front. I mean, but half the neighborhood looking like who this?
Yeah.
But they got out and he looked like a school. He going to that house.
Yeah.
We know it's somebody around athletics, so he cool.
That's so deep. You try to explain it to people that they don't understand the recruiting process. And when it comes to coaches, it's never just X's and O's. It's never that. It's always about, can you connect with the player? Can you connect with the family? And then be a man of your word. Like you've talked about it, that man, if you thought they was lying to you about what they were going to do once you got here.
That's why I ain't go to North Carolina.
Right? You get the feeling like this is not like they telling me the right stuff,
but they don't sound right. It ain't adding up.
I don't.
I'm talking to the running back coach, but y'all want me to play receiver.
Yeah.
I can understand. He can pitch in and everything like that. And I was and it's funny. I could say the same thing about Nebraska because I was talking to JP. JP was the first person, but he's from the area, so he was from Hagerstown.
Yeah.
He was, but he's from. It ain't it ain't soft over there. So he understands, like the dynamic of the area. So I was talking to JP, and I'm like, okay, he was a linebackers coach, defensive coordinator, type guy, and everything like that. And for a split second, I thought, okay, maybe DB, but then Coach Fish came in and made that all clear, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, but yeah, no, Bo was just real and genuine, So he wasn't afraid, and he sitting there laughing jokes and everything like that. I mean, I believe him and my uncle kind of like went at it like a little bit, like.
And it wasn't a bad thing.
It wasn't.
It wasn't a bad thing.
He wasn't afraid. It's like, all right, like you talk yours, I'm gonna talk mine, and so be it.
See, there's so much of that, and this is why, I was looking forward to being able to have these conversations with you, because one, it explains to the lay fan that can't possibly put themselves in that situation. Mm-hmm. I'll ask the question: the first home game at Memorial. Go through coming out of the tunnel and the tunnel walk.
We played FAU.
See, it's like immediately like he could go right back to it, right?
We played FAU.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you might actually know him, Lucky Whitehead.
Yeah.
So Lucky played for FAU, and Lucky played a couple years in the league, and now he's over in the CFL.
Yeah,
I think he's the highest paid receiver there.
Yeah, no, Lucky, he was another problem.
Lucky is a lightning in a bottle.
He was another problem.
I can't touch him. Like, I can't. He's way faster.
Right.
So we played FAU. I mean, we bashed them. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah.
And second half, I want to say they was rotating between Kenny and Westy, but I want to say it was mostly Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny was back there and everything like that, and Kenny from time to time, you got to understand Kenny to really know him. Like, y'all might see him as like, oh, a nice guy, this and that, but sometimes he can be a jerk. But it comes from a place of love, like an older brother. You know what I'm saying? That roughs you up here and everything like that. So it wasn't nothing too much, but. You know what I'm saying? He would talk it up and everything like that. So, and it was funny because when we first came out to catch punts and everything like that, the stadium's not full. So I'm like, okay, y'all was talking all of this and everything like that. And I'm like, I came here for when Michigan State, so I seen the stadium full, but it's different when you got the uniform on. So we come back out, catching punts and everything like that. We go back in now. For whatever reason, after the prayer goes on and everything like that, you just hear rumbling. And I'm like, what is that? I'm like, hold on. Like, I'm like, is that safe? Like, is something about the bus or we okay? And then it's like when the doors are closed, it's different from when they open. You still just hear, honestly, it's like turbulence. It's just shaking and rocking. You're like, oh, okay. Especially the first game of the season. And it's all fine and dandy, still walking and leading up. You hear. But when that gate open and you really like see it, it's like, oh, this is what y'all was talking about.
We here now.
Oh, okay. And Kenny, try catch a punt, try something in front of that. Let's see how you do with this and that. I don't care if it was one. I'm 10 toes. I'm here. It's whatever. Just let me loose. And so like I said, we bashed them earlier. They start putting me in a lot more. I'll probably say late second quarter for sure in the second half of the season. And I mean the second half of the game and everything like that. And I think that actual game, my first reception, like my first actual play, like running a route, I actually scored my first ever college. It was play 2. It was my second collegiate play, but it was my first like route when I scored and everything like that. I think T Newby like broke my first play. T Newby like broke it down to like the 8-10 yard line, and we had this play. I remember like it was yesterday, a circle. And I just remember our coach go this and do the sign. I was like, oh, I'm about to score. Like, thank you.
It's a gift.
And then that's pretty much after that, that's when they started putting me back on punts. The next game, I want to say I was a starting punter. I was starting returner, punt returner. it was the Kenny, and I think we played McNeese. McNeese was the second game, when Amir broke for that long run.
Yeah.
But that was my first game actual starting. So, I was like, oh, okay. And then now, okay, getting back to playing and everything like that. So it kind of made you hold your breath a little bit. It was definitely a sight.
Was trying to field punts in front of 90,000 that different then? I mean, because like I know where you play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Memorial Stadium is not playing at W.T. Woodson. It's not like we had a great crowd, but it was nothing.
It wasn't that.
No, it was not that, right?
Early on, yeah, but at the end of the day, once you like locked in and focused on everything like that, everything kind of gets quiet for me. So it wasn't never it never really distracted me or anything like that. You learn to feed off of it. But I mean, now it became okay, like how loud can you get it? You know, like what can you do to make the crowd go crazy? We got, Kenny making plays, Amir making plays, Westy making plays and everything like that. Like I had to do something.
Yeah.
I okay, watch. And it was in practice, it was like that. They did something, okay, watch this. Okay, somebody else did something, okay, watch this. So I mean, it became like that game day. Like every other play call, if you really go back and look at it, somebody, okay, it's your turn to make a play. 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 Okay, well, they had a whole lot of spots to where it just wasn't my turn to get into the offense yet.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna do something with these punts.
Yeah.
And it just came easy to me. And then, after I want to say probably the Michigan State game is once they started really trying to get me involved into the offense that week.
There's so much to it. A couple of things. One, yes, YouTube chat. Yeah, we do check the YouTube chat. Andrew, yeah, we see you, bro. He says he loves seeing the former players getting all caught up in the shows, and that's part of what we're doing. Texas says DP, one of the most exciting electric returners that we've ever had. We're sad to see him go. Yeah, I
tried to get a year back. They wasn't messing with me. I tried to get one.
Tex asked, did I coach it? No, I coached against him. And the whole thing, we actually had some opportunities, and I'm still mad because I asked for you for the Capital Classic. I asked your basketball coach if I could have you for the Capital Classic. And they
was that at Centerville?
It was actually at TC Williams. It was at the Garden, and we went down there, and we needed a lockdown guard. I wanted to see you and Eric Bowles play together. Like that was
that wouldn't have been fair.
That would have been amazing. We'll toward the break. When we come back, we'll close out the first premiere episode of Don't Punt with DeMornay Pierson-El.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
CRP mixes and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Price Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal carts come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any backyard landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Fall has arrived, and it's the perfect weather for the DIY market to listen to the game while building a deck. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and Decorators composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance and to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671 or go online to deckcityne.com.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha. When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment. Don't punt. DeMornay, Pierson-El. Again, we thank you folks on the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. Appreciate it. And those of you on the stream hitting us up, we appreciate it. We read everything. We get them out to you. Greatly appreciate you hanging. And this will be he'll be here tomorrow and we can get through it. Like, there's so much. And here's what I can guarantee you about this show. It's never going to be the same show 2 days in a row. Like, it's never going to be the same. It's never going to be that. We were talking about that first year and the personalities in that, the guys in the room. Talk to me about the receivers in the room, in that receiver room, that your freshman year.
My freshman year, we had Kenny, was leading thing, Jamal Turner, Tariq, Zoe, Alonzo Moore, B. Riley, Westy. I think it was KG was in there, and then we had two other young dudes and everything like that. But it was an older crowd. I mean, I was the youngest one traveling.
Well, that was why I brought it up, is that, again, to walk into that room as a freshman It could have been overbearing.
I didn't care.
Right? Well, but I mean, I think that's part of the personality of DeMornay Pierson-El. When you talk about first of all, he's tell you punt returners are barely human. Like they're barely human. I'm a member of the club. I know that there's a fearlessness required and an arrogance. Yeah. And then look, my favorite part of the don't punt thing is that's a thing that 30 years ago I used to say to high school coaches. Like I would walk over and say, "Do not kick the ball to me."
I didn't have to do that.
Like, do not. I had to because this was before the internet, right? I didn't have a choice. But it was. So this is the thing. That room had depth.
Mm-hmm.
That room had personality.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you say was the leader of that room? Who was the practice leader, the person that everybody said, okay, I got to be this good because he's on top?
It wasn't even necessarily a this good. Kenny, obviously, like and me and him, look, he was a jerk at first.
Territorial, right?
But like I said, it come from a place of love. It was just different from what I wasn't necessarily like used to. But he would be the first one there to pick you up. You know what I'm saying? If somebody pushing you, talking something there, Kenny's firing. He didn't care. But Kenny was that dude. But it wasn't just like, we got to be like this and everything like that. Kenny was more so of just like, make sure you do your job. Make sure you understand. We got jobs to do. Have fun with it. We go sit in class all week, sit in film all week to go through this. Like, get out there and have fun. And I think that's why Kenny is probably one of the fan favorites of everybody, just because of his charisma and everything that he brings and gives off and everything like that. And so he made things a lot more funner and everything like that. Him and Fish, if Fish was doing something too long and everything, like, can we get a break? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, can we? He would mix things up and everything like that. But he made sure that that he wasn't. Oh, we got to do this right because it did. Like, nah, he was one of those relaxed leader. Like, look, make sure you do. Make sure you own what you own or whatever. And I mean, once we out there, we out there. Like, it ain't no. I'm scared. It ain't no. I don't know what it. No, like, do your part, do what you're supposed to do, and we're gonna have fun.
From the text line, and Pecan Pie is a regular and he's a friend, says, does DPE believe that he was explosive after his injury?
Duh. What kind of question is that?
Yeah, well, a big question, because I know Nebraska fans that I've talked to about you have this thing that they want to imagine you in full for all 4 years of your career.
I wasn't necessarily being used how I was,
I think that's
the last 2 years. I wasn't being used necessarily the last 2 years how I was early on. That's not necessarily my fault. I'm not blaming anybody or anything like that. It is what it is. I mean, I had 2 injuries in 1 year. They had to figure something else out, and it was working. And I mean that happens. So I mean, I'm not saying, oh, poor me or anything like that. Like, no, it just comes with the game, comes with the territory. It was just necessarily different. But if you go back and look at them last 2 years and everything like that, especially my senior year, if they needed something, a conversion or something like that, who often did they go to? Go back and look at the Oregon game. Go back and look at that Wisconsin game. But Wisconsin game both years when we was at Camp Randall. And we threw the ball to the last go ball to Stan on the right side and everything like that. Before we even done that, before we even got to even get into overtime and everything like that, we needed to score. They called a screen. It was like 3rd and 10. They called a screen for me. So at times they knew when to use me and everything like that, and what stuff to get and everything like that. But why wasn't it as consistent? I don't know. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. I just wasn't being used how I think I should have been, and I think a lot of people would say the same thing.
They absolutely do. DPE, man, it's good. Tomorrow we'll do it the same time tomorrow. Tomorrow I want to pick your brain about Michigan.
Okay, that's fine.
They're coming.
Let them come. What that mean?
Yeah, we need to have the breakdown to happen. DPE. Harrison R is going to carry it. Up next, Sim Hoiberg. He's got the big man with him.
We got Rick Mast in the house.
Yeah, it's going to be a good night here on Ticket Weeknights. DP, job well done, bro.
Appreciate you.
Sam Hoiberg, it's yours, partner.